Axim Fringe Solutions Group would like to thank you for taking the time to learn about the new regulations from the Office of Federal Contract Compliance. In this video, we're going to dive into what the regulations mean and the strategies you need to apply to your reporting to stay compliant. And it's these three directives that SCA and DBA contractors need to pay particular attention to. The first of which talks about how OFCCP personnel will be doing focused reviews where they come on site and talk to your employees and managers about your practices. What this means is that in addition to the Department of Labor now looking into your compensation and compliance reporting, you now have the OFCCP looking into it as well. Of course, if you have airtight compliance practices, then you really don't have to worry. But that's something the government wants to shine a light on as well by creating the Contractor Recognition Program. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that means and how it can be an advantage to you. But first, let's circle back and talk about those focus reviews and what the OFCCP said they'd be looking for, including correct labor category mapping. So if you have an employee who performs multiple roles on a contract, you better be sure that you're paying the multiple corresponding pay rates that come with those roles. Otherwise, it could be a problem. If you're paying out a benefit that isn't certified as a fringe, you're going to end up owing the employee whatever you paid for that amount because you basically gave a fringe that the government didn't want you to provide. You also need to make sure that you've kept up with the current wage and fringe determinations, which on most contracts change on a yearly basis. And if the place where the contract is being performed has changed, that can have an effect on the wage determination as well. Lastly, you need to make sure that you're correctly compensating your independent contractors on the job. The OFCCP is going to check for all four of these things, and if one or more of them is found, it could spell huge problems for you and your contract. And now that you know what you're looking for, you need to review the last 2 years of your compliance reporting and compensation practices to make sure the things we just discussed are correct. Now, if you find all that information to be correct, and the OFCCP does as well, you might just get selected for the Contractor Recognition Program, which could be a huge deal, to be certified by the Office of Federal Contract Compliance as a model contractor. It could make the difference when it comes to certain bids, as well as allow you to build better government relationships, set up a mentoring program with other contractors, and even have a say in future policies and feedback towards compliance issues in the future. And if joining the Contractor Recognition Program is something you'd want, then Axim as a fellow government contractor would like to help. Our compliance model has been audited by the Department of Labor over 180 times without a single violation. And we're more than happy to share our recipe for compliance with you. Or if you don't want to invest that type of time and resources into your compliance structure, you may want to subcontract that compliance reporting with Axim Fringe Solutions Group, eliminating both the cost and the liability of your fringe benefit reporting. If you have any questions about OFCCP regulations, your own compliance structure, or how to subcontract your fringe reporting, feel free to reach out to us by any method on the screen. Thank you again for your time, and let us know if Axim can help.